Video games. Comic books. We got them.
Well, we don't got them.
Oh, what?
Wait, what was the last thing you said?
You want them.
That's great.
Okay, I shouldn't have talked over it. That's really good ad read you just did.
No, I was actually off the dome, too.
Because before the show, we want to tell you about a different show that, according to Beto's ad read, you need.
Yeah.
We're here to tell you about Debate This, a comedy podcast about comic books and video games. Like Beto was mentioning. So on this show, they try to answer questions that no one is asking, like which X-Man would be the worst roommate and who's the best cat in video games. You have an answer for either of those?
Is there a Felix the Cat video game?
The answer to both of them is Beast. Sorry, you failed this. You failed this ad read.
Who would win in a fight? Wolverine or Charlie Brown?
Obviously, Charlie Brown, because he has the power of depression. So each week, one of the hosts acts as moderator as the other three duke it out in a structured debate. You don't know if structured.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the citations come from wiki articles. Sometimes our friends join in. People like Eric Silver, Kelsey Lewin, and John Warren have stepped into the metaphorical ring with them. They also do monthly bonus episodes called flavor texts. These are like book reports on a single topic or property, which I feel like is what we do for Candy. Yeah. They've covered everything from Mortal Kombat to One Piece to Five Nights at Freddy's, which we were supposed to play together, Beto. But
yeah, what happened?
I was too scared.
Dang it.
So you can find Debate This wherever you cast your pods or on their website at debatethiscast.com or on social media at debatethiscast ! So that's another show we think you should listen to. Debate This.
Debate this. Get over here. That's like Mortal Kombat.
Charlie Brown fatality.
He broke his back when he tried to kick the football. Fatality.
And here comes another show.
Totally, Greg. January 6th is a very important part of our history. And you know what? There's only one day that's better than January 6th.
Which one is that?
And it's going to be January 20th, 2025.
No, you're right.
The views of Beto, the suddenly wildly right-wing views of Beto do not reflect.
Follow me on X.
When he said new year, new him, this is what he meant.
I know. I thought he was getting a haircut, but he got like a Hitler Youth haircut. And I thought, well, I guess that's kind of
It's
hip.
kind of cool. He got a big eagle now. I don't know why.
He said he was going to get a new tattoo. Boy, was that a lot of lines. A lot of interlocking lines. But for all the new listeners, we are not that. I don't know about Beto. But this is Candy is Dandy. The left wing.
No.
The apolitical.
Yeah, the completely neutral.
Yeah, the Switzerland of podcast, the Swiss chocolate of podcast, the Candy Review podcast, where each episode, let's see if I could do it right this time, we pick a different candy.
Sure do.
We do some candy news.
Very
We
true.
give a history of the candy. We taste the candy. We play a candy game, and then we candy. Oh, I messed it up at the end. Yeah.
I candy forgive you.
Yeah.
I can't
Ever forgive myself.
I can't ever forgive myself. So this is Daniel New Year Old Him Zaffron.
This is Beto New Year. Hardcore new me.
He bought.
I'm leaning. No. In a very specific direction.
Turn that giant fan on. He bought 4 Teslas on January 1st on the stroke of midnight. Yeah, with X-shaped bows on them. And now, who are you?
I'm Greg. Will never leave this century. Gonzalez.
Yeah, I guess we won't. Wait. Let's see. I'm 15. Are we gonna make it into the 2100s?
We gotta live 75 more years.
More years
bro.
on top of what you are now.
It's not gonna happen,
Let's
dude.
see.
No.
So I'm gonna be like 75 in 75 years. I'm so young, right?
Mm-hmm. You give off like sperm. You're like, you read as intelligent as sperm.
I read as personified sperm.
Yeah, personified sperm. Yeah. I look at you and I think no thoughts. He has no thoughts.
But always moving forward.
Always
moving forward.
Always ruining a shirt.
New Year, gross Greg.
This is the new me. I'm gross.
This is January 1st. Happy New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year, guys.
So
Happy New Year.
before we start everything, I wanted to give kind of like from now on little explanations of each segment we're going to. Just brief ones for people who don't know what a top of the show means, and we start doing an Irish voice.
Okay.
What could that possibly mean?
I don't know. Is it something you do at the end of a show?
Yeah, I think that's what it meant. It's like a cap, like you're topping it. Yeah.
Well, look, you joke. Our listeners are so stupid. Off mic. I mean, nobody's recording that.
Yeah.
Listeners are they don't know their top of the show from their bottom of their show.
Yeah, what the heck?
So this is first a segment where we catch up on something candy related or show related at the beginning of each show. At the beginning of each show.
Daniel know what
top of the show is? And it's called the top of the show.
Top of the show.
And then that happens. So I had one thing prepared, but then I remembered it's our January 1st episode. So I thought we should make our January 1st Candy is Dandy New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
So to get the ball rolling, what I want out of this new year is for Beto to come back to the left.
I don't know, man.
He's got to go so far right that he
Teslas.
comes out the other side. And he wouldn't believe that because he thinks the earth is flat now.
Yeah, I know. He's going to fall off the right. So what I want this year is to find, because my highest ranking candies, I think, have been Reese's peanut butter cups and peanut M&Ms. So I want another candy that's in the 4.9 and above tier. That's what I want
You want to find one.
I want to find one this year that is above 4.9. Right. What about you two?
I'd like to try more international candies, some textures that we haven't messed with before. I think that would be really smart. I think that I can
How very
grow.
left-leaning of you.
Yeah, well, I've seen the world. I went to Wisconsin, so I've seen the world.
So cultured.
So cultured. Reuben rolls, guys. Reuben rolls. I feel like we're missing a lot of good stuff.
Well, we've done a few, like the last... Aside from 100 grand before that, we did two very obscure Bayadera and Coca. We did two very obscure foreign candies.
Yeah, I like to.
Yeah.
Now we're getting back to our American roots.
I like to.
Oh, thank you for the idea, David.
He insisted.
Welcome to the team.
American Candy First podcast. What about you?
I mean, 2024 was a pretty good year for us. We did our first drug.
Yeah.
We
did our first lollipop.
For those who haven't listened, we did a candy from Peru that had coca extract in it. Although, as I later researched, I'm pretty sure it was decocainized.
That should be a top of the show.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll save it.
Yeah.
You'll find out in a few weeks.
That we had to stink that into a water balloon and put it in our butts to get it through
For nothing.
Customs. Yeah, for nothing.
Just for the giggles.
Yeah.
And then we also sort of did our first gum.
Yes.
So my New Year's resolution is going to be to do something we haven't done before.
Okay, so you're laying something out that you know we're about to do. So that's a smart thing to do with resolution.
Yeah.
Do something you know that you're going to do next week.
Yeah, and check it off the list right away.
And
I always keep my resolution.
I'm gonna really challenge myself.
But other than let's just say gum or something like that.
Yeah.
What else haven't we done on this show?
Cough drops.
Cough drops.
Cough drops.
drops.
Cough
Yeah.
drops.
We haven't done.
Like a type of candy we haven't
Yeah, what's
done.
a type of candy we haven't done? We haven't done like a. Have we done like sucking candies? We have.
We
done
have.
Oh, yeah. We've done
the
some
Mesmeritas.
What about the Mexican candies that you push from the bottom?
Yeah, I was about to say.
whatever.
The kind of like the novelty toy candy stuff, like the baby bottle pops.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes with yours too, international things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Baby
we
bottle
can knock
pops.
two.
Two birds
For
with
the-
one stone. You could slit the throat of two birds with one knife.
We can storm two capitals with one mob, dude.
And there will soon be two capitals. Because of people like you.
Like people like you and Saruman.
Yeah, I thought you were Saruman the Gray. You're Saruman the White.
And emphasis on one.
Saruman the White power. So, yeah, I think these are good resolutions. And I think some of them can be achieved within the month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps the next episode. Not saying it.
Yeah, no, I want to reveal myself. Yeah.
But now we are going into the next segment, which is where we go over some recent candy news, and it's delivered by a member of the Candy is Dandy family each week, and it's called a Candy News. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I hear moans of either pain or pleasure. But what's the difference? Am I right?
Are you okay, or can I join you, Greg?
My stomach hurts.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I swallowed too much news.
Oh,
Daniel.
that's not good for you. It's all fake, bro.
Oh, no.
You gotta get real natural.
Don't
news,
listen
dude.
to him. Wait, what paper were you eating? He might be right, but depending on him, we might be talking about the same paper and have different opinions.
You need that organic news, bro.
Yeah, I ate British paper. I thought it'd make me more cold. The Guardian.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
My stomach
You gotta read the real news, the National Enquirer.
Oh,
I mean, eat the
don't
real
say
news.
that.
Oh, did you have too much National Enquirer?
Wait. Let me get a bucket because Daniel still needs news.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
Okay.
Here, Greg, how about eat all of these really spicy jelly beans and then give me my candy news back?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's coming out like a printing press. And I hear the songs from cartoons. Dun, 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 dun. Wait,
Wow.
stop the presses. I found my old ring. Okay, now you can keep the presses going again. Greg's,
Wow, he's
everywhere.
efficient.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it is good fiber.
I got to get the op-eds out in the comics.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
all right, it's all yours. I feel so good now. I think I'm gonna eat another paper.
Which one are you thinking of going with, though?
Is LA Weekly still a thing?
No.
It's like an edible. It's like eating an edible.
Yeah, if you eat that, you won't pass your drug test. What's the best newspaper for desserts? Something like the... They don't have
Probably
the-
Better Homes and Garden.
Oh, I can eat that.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
newspaper. Well, you know what my favorite newspaper is? Nickelodeon Magazine. Could you eat a few of those?
Did you ever eat a Ranger Rick?
Greg, I want you to eat these highlights and then try to spot all the pencils are in the
There's
room.
one for sure in a tree. I know it. There's always a tree. There's always a pencil in a tree.
Our one reference for Highlights Magazine. Well, I'm just going to take my candy news out of the bucket here.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a calm demeanor. It's quite disgusting what I'm doing right now. Reaching into Greg's wretch bucket to get the candy news.
You even have gloves
It's a
right
good
next
source.
to you, but you haven't put them on.
You couldn't even go into the litter box I keep around for you. Sorry, so let me just get the bile off of this. Whoosh. Okay, so of course every candy news has a title. We all know this.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I feel like this has to be explained to the
Oh,
audience
yes. Yeah. New year.
No.
New
too. Yeah,
listeners.
New Year. Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. Because once they hear how funny it is, it'll
Yeah,
all
yeah.
everything.
Oh, okay.
Everything they've ever heard will make sense to them after they hear how funny my candy news titles are.
They'll for sure think like, oh, this person had a concussion. Like he got hit in the head really hard.
Yeah, it'll all make sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
So this one is called. Okay, let me reread this so I make sure.
So he understands.
Yeah.
Okay, Reese's Created's peanut butter cups.
Okay. Explanation time.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So when I was 15, I was bending over on the sidewalk, and a van was driving too close to me, and the side mirror hit me in the
Santa
head.
Ana winds blew at just the wrong moment, and I was in the hospital for a long time. So a while back, someone posted on Reddit that they had bought a pack of 5 Reese's peanut butter cups, which in itself is a story. I didn't know they sold them in that large of quantity.
Yeah.
But much to their dismay, none of them had peanut butter inside them.
What?
They were all just pure discs of
Of chocolate?
And Reese's responded to the damning evidence by referring to it as everyone's nightmare and that every Reese's cup is crafted to perfection, but even perfection can have an off day. But
That
then,
is not perfection. Then that is Frankenstein.
if you don't get straight A's, you're going to live with grandma. New year, new me.
Yeah.
I'm mean to children.
Yeah.
But then Reese's put their peanut butter where their mouth is and released a Reese's deconstructed peanut butter cup kit.
Wow.
Let's snap back. Reese's Created's peanut butter cups.
Wow.
So inside of each of these kits was a 10-ounce jar of Reese's peanut butter pup.
Putter Pups.
The Putter Pups filling.
We'll have one of those. I want a putter pup.
And if you are going to get a Putter Pup, please adopt a Putter Pup. It's 2025.
Spade and neuter your putter pup.
So it had this jar of the filling and a 9-ounce empty chocolate cup shell.
Yeah.
So they said, we know how personal your ideal chocolate to peanut butter ratio is.
Oh my
as
God.
we learned. So go ahead, amp up the peanut butter or tone it down. We won't judge. You're welcome. So you could add as much or as little peanut butter into
That's
the cup as you
amazing.
wanted. They were on sale on the Hershey store website for $29.99. Are you out of your mind? And sold out immediately.
Whoa.
These were a limited time offer, so we're out of luck. But They promise that they will be coming back soon, so you can get on a list to be notified once they do. But in the meantime, the peanut butter sucking vampire responsible for all this is still on the loose.
Oh my God. Get that.
Am I just dreaming it up, or did they make a all peanut butter?
I think they had a peanut butter lovers. It was like the outside tasted of peanut butter, but it wasn't. It was like a white chocolate mixed with. But peanut butter.
Kind of brown and looked like peanut butter.
Oh no, that was in Greg's bucket.
That's confused. We shouldn't put these two buckets next to each other.
We keep all of our candy that we next to Greg's vomit bucket.
One bucket rule.
Yeah,
new year, new bucket.
Yeah, new year,
one
new bucket
to rule them all. Thanks, Saruman, the white power.
What do you call a dentist that's a vampire?
Okay, wait. This isn't the game segment of the show, but we do have a first graders
that is a vampire?
Yeah, dentist that's also a vampire.
A succubus?
A count.
Count Brushula?
Count.
Wait, a dentist that's also a vampire.
Count Brush, will ya?
That's better than the one I came up with.
Nose for floss too? Oh! Nose for floss tooth.
It was actually Flosseratu.
Oh, mine's better.
I don't think that it is.
Let me just look in this disused joke vomit bucket. No, mine's better.
Yeah, I threw up an ice cream stick that had a joke on it. I just wanted to read it. I have landed in my hand.
That's been there since 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with Reese's, and that has been our candy news. Oh, okay. Drop it.
I just want a little bit. I just want a little bit.
He does this when he's nervous.
I know. He just eats and eats news.
Yeah, it's because we weaned him too early from his mom, who was a newspaper. And now he just, whenever he's stressed out, he eats newspapers.
Hey, you guys want to see some yellow journalism?
That's when he pees newspapers. Okay, so now we are getting into the candy history segment of our show. So this was my choice.
What?
Isn't it always your turn?
Oh my God.
I have been the Phantom Menace this
Wow, his body, his choice.
New year, old grudges.
Your choices, my choices. Yeah. So let me get into the history segment of this, and then we'll talk a little bit.
Did we say we're doing Milky Way? Did we make that clear?
I don't think we made that
clear. I'm about to make it very clear.
Okay.
As clear as the Milky Way.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa, I ate some of Greg's psychedelic vomit from the 60s. So space, the final frontier of Mars brand candies we've tried. This week, it was finally time to get to the root of all Mars with their original icon before Three Musketeers, before Snickers, before even Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba?
This week, we are trying the humble Milky Way.
Milky Way.
So what are our thoughts before we get into this of the Milky Way?
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Really?
It's pretty much a Snickers minus some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's minus one thing. Well, it's minus, but we'll get into it's actually plus another thing. I think. I don't think Snickers actually does one of the things it does.
Nougat?
There's Band-Aids in
Yeah,
it?
what? This is my grandma's favorite candy.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
So fond memories of this. And it is good. I had one earlier this week. And yeah,
Cheater.
it's
Cheater. Greg,
Snickers minus.
New
but
Year, same cheating, Greg.
catch me.
There's got to be more caramel, though, right?
Yeah, I think
I disagree. Because I didn't used to like these, but this is one of those ones that felt kind of boring. But again, like as I got older, like, no, this is actually kind of a simple and elegant candy bar that I actually do like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say I could put it up with Reese's Peanuts, it's deconstructed buttered in cupcakes. But I put it maybe like a 3rd tier kind of candy.
Okay.
Maybe encroaching on 2nd
I think
tier.
this is bottom of the 1st tier.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a little too high, even for my standards.
This is, I mean,
Grandma's boy
grandma,
over here.
hey, that's me. This is
He got bad grades. Straight
gonna
to
put her in a
grandma's.
bathtub. What do you call it? Impulse. This is like an impulse item, and it's midway through the
Yeah.
thing.
And it is one, because I wanted to do one of the kind of always there at the counter
It is
candies.
always
Because we
reliable.
haven't done one of those in a while.
And this is
except
a
for
rel-
Coca, of course.
That's always there. You're telling
Every
me.
liquor store I go to, every smoke shop I go to.
In the candy counter, Beto runs out of his back alley. So let's get into the history of this.
Okay.
Malted, they are chocolate. They are
Wow.
They are
malted.
malted
They are
chocolate
chocolate. They are
balls.
malted. They are chocolate.
They're malted.
They're my
They're
mother.
chocolate. Yes.
They are malted chocolate flavored nougat topped with a thin layer of caramel and enrobed in milk chocolate.
That's got to be Webster's word of 2024.
I agree.
Enrobed.
If they know what's good for them.
Yeah.
Enrobed.
Enrobed. I mean, everyone's talking about enrobing this. So the election was enrobed.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is different between, other than the peanuts being missing, it's malted nougat. So it's a chocolate malted flavor in the nougat, which I don't think whatever the peanut bar does, whatever they're called.
Hopefully you get more in depth into malting.
Oh, I will.
The
Because
malting
I knew, as I wrote it,
That's what birds do, right? When
or like when a snake is like malting.
it's malting, yeah. Lava malts most things.
Lava malts, snakes, birds.
And when it's the 50s and the lava and the snake skins go to they go to Archie's place.
Right.
Which is actually a bar from All in the Family. I was thinking of the restaurant from Happy Days. What do they call that place?
The malted bar?
Riverdale?
Fumicello's? What is the place of the name of the restaurant they're always at in Happy Days?
I don't
Wrong
know.
generation, buddy.
Not for Greg and me. You're the wrong.
I never saw a Happy Days.
Really? You never watched Happy Days?
I just watched American Graffiti a bunch.
Wow. So you don't know how cool Fonzie is?
He has a brown jacket.
Arthur Fonzarelli.
Artie. Hey.
Oh, he's seen it. He knows. Now that we've settled who the coolest character in TV history
You're
is.
a real Richie.
So you don't know. I'm Potsy. So the story of this candy,
Arthur Pozzarelli. Go ahead.
and the entire Mars, you're a real Opie Griffith. So the story of this candy in the entire Mars empire starts with the legendary Frank Mars, who we've only kind of talked about at this point. We kind of got into it in the Snickers episode, our very first episode. But now I figured we would talk about the man, because Snickers was his second. So now let's talk a little bit about the guy. And we've also heard about his son, which comes into this story also. So Franklin Clarence Marzarelli for his friends at Fumicello's or wherever they hang out.
Did he also make Marshmallows?
Oh, those are good.
Those are good, huh?
Yeah, they're
I
different from
those.
marshmallows, but
there's a little bit different.
Yeah, one's from space and one's from
Venus,
the wetlands.
One's from space, one's from Egypt. We get it. So this guy was born 1883 in Hancock, Minnesota, on a good old American farm.
I like Greg's. Okay.
Yes, Hancock, Minnesota. He's been to Wisconsin. He knows Hancock, Minnesota.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Hancock. HC? That's what we call it.
So, as a young boy, he was struck with the soon-to-be getting a new remake, polio. Thankfully, it was because of Beto's new right-leaning.
Hey, show me the numbers.
It was Sunday, Monday, polio. Tuesday, Wednesday, polio.
Thursday, Friday, funeral.
In a chair, I don't care. I'm making millions. So it was a mild case of polio, which apparently happens. So it didn't leave him permanently disabled, but it was severe enough to prevent him from helping out on the farm for a while. So he spent this time instead inside the house learning from his mom how to hand dip chocolate, which he found to be way more interesting than hog castrating, which his dad loved doing. And also, don't forget to castrate your hogs this holiday season, holiday season.
And the castrations dipped in chocolate. Great gift.
He combined his family's two passions, and that's how we got hog swallows.
And the hogs really liked part of it. They liked part of that whole thing.
Well, which came first in the process. So thank you once again, polio. When he got a little sister, he married. When I got a little sister,
he got married.
Go ahead.
Wow, 2025 new therapist.
Either speed that sentence up or slow it down.
So when
but the speed you picked was not
he
good.
got a little older. My God, that was weird.
Can you? Okay. Start over on that one.
I don't know how to start over. New year, new me. I only go forward. I don't apologize for any mistakes anymore. So when he got a little sister, he married a teacher named Ethel and moved to Wadena, Minnesota, where he followed. Greg's been there too. Where he followed his candy inclinations and got a job as a molasses chip salesman.
Molasses chips.
Molasses chip salesman. Yeah. What a dream.
Yeah.
I don't know how he could keep one wife. So for some reason,
that's like the president.
Well, actually, he didn't. For some reason, Ethel didn't want to stay married to a molasses chip salesman. Too many affairs. So the two got divorced, and Frank married another woman named Ethel and moved to Tacoma, Washington in 1911, where he started selling buttercream candies he made in their kitchen.
Nice.
Okay.
So Ethel number 2.
Yeah, easier to remember the name that way.
Yeah.
That way, when you're having more affairs, you don't get even more confused. When you're having an affair with the old Ethel,
Oh, Ethel.
Yeah.
he only
Nothing
has,
wrong here.
he only has affairs with women named Ethel, which back then every woman was named Ethel. So then they both got divorced from Tacoma and moved back to Minnesota in 1920, but this time to the big city of Minneapolis, which is not where Happy Days. That's Milwaukee, right?
I think. Well, they have.
Well, you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't
but you
know.
have been to Milwaukee.
I've been to Milwaukee, but I saw a bronze fawn statue.
Bronzy.
Wow.
Bronzy, yeah, Arthur Bronzarelli. So I assume either Henry Winkler is from that area or they
It's
filmed
got to
Happy
be because I
Days.
know that Laverne and Shirley is there. You know Laverne and Shirley. Let's
Yeah,
sing the theme
yeah.
song, right,
Yeah.
Beto?
Laverne and Shirley.
Schlemiel.
Happy Days.
Polio. Laverne and Shirley have polio. So here, Frank continued to experiment with candies and more Ethels and created a brand new candy that would rock the world.
Oh, yeah.
If people liked it, but they didn't. These were called Patricia chocolates, named after his daughter, Patricia.
Oh, that's cute.
That is
Yeah.
cute.
Little Patty.
Peppermint Patricias? Oh my God.
Oh, my God.
And his other daughter?
Beef-
Marshmallow? What were you going to say?
Beef Patricia.
Wellington? Then he tried again in 1922 with what he called the Mar-O bar, which was a chocolate bar with a whipped cream center, which seems to have been what they called whipped nougat, like what we have
Oh, okay.
inside
Oh.
of. So, but whipped cream also sounds really good inside
Yeah.
of chocolate. These were successful enough that he started calling his company the Mar-O Bar Company, but they had a slogan. I couldn't make sense of this. Tell me if this makes sense to you.
Okay. Got my thinking hat on.
Yeah.
We call it Mar-O Bar. That's some whipped cream taste in Mar-O Bar, isn't it? We'll say it's a new one.
When does the slogan start?
Yeah. Nice intro.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you clearly wrote that.
And then,
Yeah. Candy news time?
and then there's a little bit more. Break me off a piece of that Mar-O Bar. What does this mean? Does that make any sense to you?
No.
I don't know if the last part adds anything.
Yeah. But that seems to be like the kicker, you
Yeah,
know? Like,
yeah.
what does that mean? We'll say it's a new one?
And the implied wink too of
Yeah. Or is it a wink? Am I just reading it as a wink? Or if it's just like, we'll say it's a new
We'll
one.
say it's a new one, won't we?
Maybe there was an influx of whipped nougat bars. And so it's a pun saying,
Well-
we'll say it's a new one, kids.
What? That's clever.
That leads me to the next sentence because that actually makes sense.
I'm gonna whip you.
Show me your little white robe. And it is white. Ever since you joined the right wing, you got Michael Jackson surgery on your rump.
I can only afford part of it.
Yeah, well, okay, so keep that in mind
All right,
because I
all
think we
right.
circle back to it. So then true lasting success struck thanks to another candy legend we've covered before.
M&M's, Red Vines,
Well,
Sour Patch Kids,
Arthur Fun Dip.
the Fonz,
Fonzarelli.
Jelly Beans.
his son, Forrest Mars. It was a person all along.
Right.
As we know, Forrest had a complicated relationship with his dad and would eventually go on to become the inventor of M&Ms. But if you recall from that story, at one point earlier on in his life, Forrest was being paid to plaster posters for Camel cigarettes around Chicago. And if you recall even further, he was arrested for doing this. What we didn't know then was that to bail him out of jail, Frank, his dad, traveled to Chicago to help his son. After leaving jail, the two went to a soda shop, you know, a few Michellos from Happy Days or whatever it's
Right.
called, to catch up, and they got a couple malteds.
Whoa.
If you've never had one, have we all had malteds here? Chocolate
No.
malteds?
Probably
Vanilla
not.
No, I
malteds?
don't think I have.
You say you grew up in the 21st century. You must have. There's places around LA that have sold malted.
Maybe I have.
I think we went and got some.
I must have
Yeah,
taken because we've
you've
gotten
taken me-
milkshakes
oh, yeah,
together, and I
yeah,
would
yeah.
have forced you. We've all gotten milkshakes together. We went to Beats
Yeah.
on my bachelor party.
That's right.
Oh, so then yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah, after we took a malted bat, we did malted naked wrestling together. Remember?
That was great. And then we played malted Star Wars Risk.
Welcome to the wildest night of my life. So,
Guys, we're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh, it's my bad.
Melissa wasn't supposed to know we played malted risk.
Yeah, she's not supposed to know that we watched Enter the Dragon while you guys were testing root beer.
Till upwards of 1 a.m. after I made us all look at the Milky Way
Yeah, that's right.
in the middle of the desert.
And I kept thinking, I could just walk off.
Dang.
And I kept yelling at all of you to turn your phones off
Yeah.
so our pupils could dilate.
Dilate your pupils! pupils for like 3-hour ride on it.
You're gonna dilate your pupil.
You're gonna make me throw up my Maltons. That's what I sounded like before I got married. So if you've never had one, and I highly suggest you brave the diarrhea for it, they're a thicker, more intense milkshake that at the time in the 1920s were a big new thing.
Okay.
What made them different from a regular milkshake was that they utilized malted milk powder, which is a mixture of evaporated milk, malted barley, and wheat flour. So adding this into the ice cream and milk of a milkshake made for a more satisfying and many incorrectly argued healthy experience, so they became very popular. So it was seen as kind of like, drink this and you'll bulk up. It has a bunch of milk in it. It's really
like
good
a
for you.
protein whey powder thing going on.
And then also take these steroids with it.
Yeah.
They put
drink all
those
this
in
lead.
Yeah.
Don't take this polio vaccine. You don't need it.
Yeah, don't.
It's going to
Guys?
slow you down.
So the same
Something's
case.
never changed.
It only took 70 years. So it was like the same case people try to make about Guinness being healthy for you.
right.
It's like drinking a loaf of bread, which is so good for you.
Yeah.
So father and son are sitting there drinking these when Forrest says, hey, why don't you make a candy that recreates the flavors of a malted milkshake?
Nice.
From there, the two parted ways again, but Frank took back to Minnesota with him the idea of a malted milkshake candy bar, an idea the two fought over whose idea it actually was for the rest of both of their lives.
Dang.
But
dysfunction.
I know. Imagine fighting with your dad over who came up with an idea for a candy based on a drink.
hey, it's a difference between do I get the millions of dollars or does my dad get the millions of dollars? Hey, he
Just kill your dad, take the money. What's the...
I know.
the Menendez brothers did
Yeah.
it, and it worked out fine for them because now they're about to be released. You just have to spend like 40 years in jail. But the process of actually realizing this was all Frank's, the daddy's idea. And to do that, he just copied. Okay, so here's where your theory of the slogan might make sense, even though it's a different candy bar. Because for this one, he just copied the form of some other candy that already existed. There was a candy being sold around Minnesota at the time called the Fat Emma, which in itself was a knockoff of another local candy called the Minneapolis Nougat, which were fluffy nougats covered in chocolate.
Oh, Fat Emma?
Fat Emma.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So maybe that's the thing of saying, well, we'll say it's a new one. We're ripping this off, but we'll say it's new.
We'll say it's a no one. Wink.
I mean, in Minneapolis, there were only 3 candies. There was the Fat Emma, Ugly Susan, and the Minneapolis Twins.
Yeah, the Milky Way was actually, there's a woman named Way.
Yeah.
The milkiest skin you've ever seen. Disgusting. But instead of just nougat for his, it would be chocolate malted flavored nougat and also caramel, because why not?
Why not?
Using fluffed nougat was actually partially a cost-cutting measure because filling a chocolate bar with nougat filled up with air was cheaper to make than a solid bar of expensive chocolate. Yeah, you fell for it. Hook, line, and stinker.
Yeah, darn it.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. Let me just put some pepper on that egg on your face. They even used to have less caramel than they do now and more nougat because it was even cheaper.
Thanks, Biden.
He probably was alive, so yeah.
My Milky Way has a sticker of Biden that says, you did this, or whatever the stupid gas station stickers say that I hate.
Yeah.
You let this?
You let him do this?
You let him do this?
Is that a real thing? People
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
I
You
have
pull
not.
it
No,
to-
I don't fill up my gas in the middle of Oklahoma.
Then
so that's where you go wrong.
That's where you spend so much money in California.
Yeah.
I drive all the way to Oklahoma.
I ship my car to Oklahoma.
Only like $3.50 there.
These had a love-hate relationship with Hershey also from the start. The love because Frank Mars sourced his chocolate from Hershey at the beginning to make these. They continued to be made with Hershey chocolate until 1965 for a competing company.
That's great.
Hate because they were designed to embarrass Hershey bars. Nowadays, a Milky Way weighs about 1.8 ounces. The original Hershey bar seems to have been just over half an ounce.
Oh, wow.
So the original Milky Way weighed 3 ounces.
Oh, my God.
It was almost twice the
Jesus
size of what we have now,
Christ.
dwarfing a pathetic Hershey bar by almost 6 times the size. So if someone saw this flimsy twig of a Hershey bar next to this nougaty chode, which was being sold for the same price, obviously they're going to go with that. So it was just, he was purposely trying to humiliate Hershey by making this candy bar.
That's embarrassing.
But he's selling his chocolate at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, but who's getting the last laugh here?
Yeah,
then?
exactly.
Hershey's
Yeah,
doing
that's
pretty good.
Yeah, Hershey's are the best chocolate, aren't they?
Whoa.
actually like Hershey's a lot. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
New Year,
guys.
stupid.
Stupid old hick over here.
So the Milky Way were created in 1923, but released commercially in 1924. And in that first year, they made $800,000 selling them, which today is almost $15 million in 1 year of sales. Their success was mostly due to two things. One was that the enrobing with trademark Merriam-Webster with chocolate prevented the caramel and nougat from souring in the packaging, which allowed them to be shipped nationally.
Okay.
And eventually in 1932, internationally.
What?
The second key to success.
It should be called outer nationally.
No, that's where the Milky Way is. In outer national. If you don't dilate your pupils, you can't see the outer nations. So the second key to success was that Frank knew how important advertising was and did a ton of it for the Milky Way. Anywhere you'd go, you'd see ads for Milky Ways.
With slogans that are full sentences.
We're doing it again, aren't we? Wink, wink. They even had Buster Keaton in one of their ads in 1961. To explain to you, Beto. You see, before Gladiator 2 came out.
Nope.
There was a before Gladiator 2?
There's a Gladiator 1. Gladiator 1 was a silent movie with real gladiators in it.
Buster Keaton had to do like a don't keep your fingers off my Milky Way thing. And he was like that of the era.
Don't lay a foot on my Milky Way. It was a different time.
Yeah.
So their ads eventually did get them in trouble, though, in the 60s when the Federal Trade Commission had to issue them a warning for portraying themselves as being healthy for you as a glass of milk because of how much malted milk powder and eggs were in them.
All these chunky doctors came up like, we have a problem with your
I've been taking me as a doctor, I've been taking your advice, Frank Mars. So the success of the Milky Way allowed Frank Mars to move his Mars company to Chicago in 1929, which paved the way for his even bigger hit the next year, Snickers. So Snickers obviously would not exist. Yeah, the horse. He was finally able to buy that horse, which he turned into a century's worth of chocolate bars. And we're almost running out of the mother horse in the recipe. As we know, Frank and Forrest had yet another falling out in 1932, where Frank gave his son $50,000 and the international rights to the Milky Way, which he began selling in England as Mars bars, which people claim are sweeter, and then ripping off Smarties to invent M&Ms. And of course, we learned that the candies known as Milky Way sold in England are what we call Three Musketeers and are also sold by Mars to make it as confusing as possible.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Frank, however, only lived to get a taste of his success because he died in 1934. He's buried in Tennessee on his beloved Milky Way farm.
Whoa.
Where you dig 6 feet under and milk starts shooting out of the ground. It's good for you. There have been corpse milk, the hot new thing, carries bird flu. It's great. There have been varieties of this incredibly simple candy bar over the years. There was an even simpler version in 2008 called Simply Caramel, which had no nougat in it. It was just a log of caramel enrobed in chocolate, which sounds terrible. That sounds
it's the
messy.
Fat Rolo.
Yeah,
Fat Rolo. Or 100 grand without the rice.
Emma changed her name to Rolo. So it's a Fat Rolo.
She thought she could avoid
but we found you.
The bullies.
You gotcha.
Yeah.
In Australia, they'd had banana flavored nougat kind and berries and cream kind. It might be creme, I don't know. But the most famous variation came out in 1926, which swapped out the milk chocolate on the outside for dark chocolate on the outside and the chocolate malted nougat for vanilla malted nougat on the outside. It was popular enough that in 1932, they started selling Milky Ways containing 2 parts, like a Twix or Three Musketeers, one of the regular kind and one of the dark chocolate kind. This only lasted till 1936, where they separated the 2 flavors, but started marketing the dark chocolate kind as Forever Yours. These were discontinued in 1979, but were brought back by popular demand in 1989 under the name we knew them as growing up, Milky Way Dark. So these are Milky Way Dark are almost 100 years old. They now are known as Milky Way Midnight, which we have here today. Since the year 2000, they changed the name. Milky Way Prime do over $100 million a year in sales and are the oldest Mars brand chocolates still being sold. So until we can dig up some Patricia chocolates or find Fat Emma, let's taste a little Mars history.
All right.
Wow.
So before we get into it, let's do our Rapper's Delight or It Ain't Right segment. As we do, we judge these things. It's very shiny.
It's very
This is holographic.
shiny, yeah.
It might be first edition. I don't know.
Shadowless.
I love the framing of the candy and the lettering is the
That is
Milky
good.
Way being
They're
pulled
bookended.
apart. Yeah, the book ended, and there's like a long piece of caramel connecting them.
I like the green on brown
Yeah.
of the font.
Agreed. Yeah.
Other than that, a little boring. I like the swirl,
Really?
the like kind of
Yeah,
bronze
I
swirl.
like that swirl.
the bronze swirl looking like caramel too.
I like how deep that color is.
Yes,
It is. It's a very rich package.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this.
You're
a lot.
kind of selling me because I was leaning towards it ain't right just because it
No.
like 100 grand it just kind of says Milky Way, but there is stuff behind it.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
Yeah.
hypnotizing me.
You really got to like search for it and
Yeah.
discover it.
But would I grab this upon seeing it if I didn't know what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
So yeah, Greg put it in his AI simulator. I would.
I ran the numbers. Yeah, you would.
Well, I don't know. I'm still kind of torn on Rapper's Delight or It Ain't Right on this one.
I mean, does it stand out compared to the other rappers out there? No.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
But does it have details that are interesting and make it unique?
Which is maybe how I felt about Milky Way on their own. Kind of boring at first glance, but once you think about it, not quite as boring.
You just got to really think about it.
Really think about and like have like something exciting going on behind it. I don't know.
I'm giving it a Rapper's Delight.
I guess the only thing I really, really like is that holographic bronze going on.
I'm really liking the green on brown. I didn't know I liked that color scheme.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like what you're wearing right now, Beto?
Oh my god!
Yeah, where is it?
Oh my god!
I gotta eat his whole jacket now.
Which one did I put in the freezer?
Oh, we got to take it out before it explodes.
We put one in the freezer to try to recreate the ice cream. Since it's meant to recreate ice
Yeah.
cream,
Yeah.
I thought we'd just try a frozen version. But yeah, it will explode soon if we heard a loud pop.
I guess I'm going to lean with Daniel on this. There's
Okay.
only really that one element I kind of really like. The rest of it is pretty generic,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really stand out compared to other ones.
No.
So I'm going to give it a very weak it ain't. It's a super like
It is-
anemic.
yeah, it is.
It ain't right.
It is 0.1% into It Ain't Right
Yeah.
for me. It is
Yeah.
so neutral almost.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of things I like, but as a whole, kind of boring.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So Greg, I'm sorry, but you lost.
You lost.
You ain't
the-
right.
You lost.
Sorry, your opinion's wrong.
And our new segment, That Boy Ain't Right.
That boy ain't right. Now he's gotta eat 3.
Is that boy tight or is that boy ain't right?
sometimes both?
So now we are trying the Milkiest Way. It's quite hefty, right?
Yeah, it's dense. It's a dense dude.
It is very, I mean, even still, this kind of puts a Hershey bar to shame just looking at it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not quite as big, but like, you know,
I could feel the veins through the package too.
I know. Well, it is a Mars brand
Yeah.
product, so it does have
It
the
has
veins
those-
on top.
240 calories, man.
They're good for you. Like I said, more calories the better.
Yeah.
Because it has malted. Like
Yeah.
malted is so, because when my grandma was a nurse in Bellevue in Manhattan in like when would it have been? The 40s, the late 30s and early 40s and beyond. They wanted the nurses to be a certain weight.
Really?
They wanted them to be fat Emmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like-
they put him on a wait list.
They those are the words of Greg. He also is the one who called them fat Emmas. But they would make her go to like the commissary and drink milkshakes and malted because they wanted, like, it's so disgusting. They wanted
Voluptuous nurses.
they wanted voluptuous nurses, which is really gross. But they would
What?
They would. That's not
Is it
gross
just
to
me?
you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Well, he has the right wing
Yeah, that's
candidate.
right. Yeah,
for
I
this
do.
here.
Hey, we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
our kinks.
and my grandma is one of them for you. But yeah, they would make the nurses kind of like fatten up because I guess they wanted people to pinch their rumps. I don't know. I don't.
Nothing to pinch on these girls.
These Skeletors are
Yeah.
sending up here to heal me,
Yeah, I broke one of her ribs by accident.
harassing her.
Yeah.
That's on her.
I'm gonna sue you.
All right, I'm gonna open mine up. They look like they look like a Snickers. They really look
They
like a
do.
Snickers.
Yeah, I wonder if you'd be able to tell if you put
Mine's-
one of these
mine
next to a Snickers.
Died.
Greg is a little.
What?
Greg is turning rotten.
That looks disgusting.
Yeah.
Yours has bloomed a little bit. It must have gotten
What's
hot.
going on? It shaved the top.
Maybe
chocolate
eat
off?
the other side. No, if you get like an old one that's gotten like warm and then cools down,
Oh, it, like,
it kind of
melts and
discolors.
squishes?
It's still edible. You won't die. But eat the better
No,
side.
I was hoping it died.
It smells okay. It smells like Mars chocolate.
Yeah, it's a strong chocolate
Smells
smell.
exactly like a Snickers.
Yeah.
It smells and looks exact. That should be a game one time. Is it a Milky Way or a
is it?
Snickers?
Yeah.
Just by looking at the
right.
log.
Game.
Rubber.
All right, so are we ready to try our
Yes.
first bite of a
Yep.
Milky
We
Way?
are.
If we can get the pull.
Oh, no pull.
Oh, yeah, no pull.
I got a little pull.
You got a little pull? Maybe you got to warm it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been sitting on mine.
My first reaction was caramel's kind of stale. Is this
Yeah.
a good one?
Is yours rotten too?
Is it? Best.
No, it might. I mean, I don't like caramel.
Mine's pushing it. Best by 2025.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, so I could have had a more fresh one.
Mine is Best by 8/2025.
Yeah, I'm
Greg's is Best by 2/2024.
1983.
Greg has the first one ever made. It is. Here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of Snickers.
Yeah.
I am a pretty big fan of Three Musketeers. This is kind of taking the best of a Three Musketeers for me, which is just the nougat, and adding elements of Snickers that I don't really like, which is the caramel.
Right.
You're going to have to give me a bite of yours, dude, because this is stale.
Okay, let me give you. You want some of
And
this?
I want to judge this correctly.
You want some of this, Greg?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna look at that pull. You say this isn't a pull?
Yeah, look at that pull.
Now I'm gonna actually pull it apart. I took my pants off. I want you to look at my pull. All right, let me give you some of this. Okay, so now we all
Okay.
have a
I
bit.
got a piece of Daniels because mine is legit stale and it's
Yeah.
kind of gross.
Mine is it's just leaking everywhere. Mine is so virile.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, night and day.
Yeah.
The caramel's gooey.
We could taste
The nougat's
the
fluffy.
Nougat's fluffy, yeah.
Oh yeah, mine was just bad, dude.
Let this be a lesson to go to the back of the shelf to grab the candy.
No.
That's delicious.
Yeah, I still kind of feel the same way about them. Like they're kind of a nice treat every once in a while, but a little boring.
Little one trick pony.
Yeah.
The caramel can get a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, fun size, right size. But
I think fun size is the right
Yeah.
size.
I like it more than a Three Musketeers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't,
Okay.
but just because of the caramel.
Sure. Well, I'm a caramel boy.
yeah, I like caramel too. I think I agree with Greg. I like a little more than just a plain old 3 Mus.
I wish that there was, and hear me out,
Nope.
Turn it off. Wrap it up.
a way that you could all give me your money right now.
Here's my Venmo.
I wish that because they're dancing around all the variations of this candy at Mars headquarters.
Yeah, they're like, oh, now just put chocolate.
And now just caramel. Let's just do an empty wrapper. But what they haven't tried is the nougat with peanuts in it. No caramel,
Okay.
enrobed in chocolate. That's kind of what I want, I think. Because it's not working for me with the caramel, and just the nougat of the Three Musketeers is a little too boring.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I want. Do we now want to try, because I have the Milky Way Midnight that we can slice up. So do we want to do the Milky Way Midnight first, or do we want to do the frozen Milky Way?
I want to do the midnight first.
Midnight
Okay,
first, I
let's
agree.
do Midnight first. Before we turn back into pumpkins, let's try the Midnight. All right, I'm going to slice this up for us and share it and divvy it. Oh, this is really dark. Wait a minute. Did you all remember to put? Did y'all remember? Did y'all remember to put garlic on your doors?
Wow, that thing is black.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Very dark. It smells much better than the original kind. And I maintain that the Milky Way Midnight, like I said, was one of my favorite Halloween candies when we did that list. I think it's a much better version of the Milky Way.
Old words.
I know.
Ooh, it almost looks like marshmallow when you cut it. You're gonna love this.
Oh, because it's vanilla and not malted chocolate. Oh my God.
Whoa.
It looks beautiful.
Whoa.
It looks like a little ice cream sandwich.
All right, so now we've got the Milky Way Midnight.
So cute. Look at
Look at
that.
this thing. Look how dark this thing
Yeah,
is.
It is really dark.
They look beautiful, sliced autopsy style.
yeah.
Oh, and it smells like dark chocolate too.
It smells like really dark
Yeah.
chocolate. It kind of smells like the chocolate-covered marshmallows from C's.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So let's try this one. I
right.
maintain the chocolate feels firmer.
yeah,
also,
it does. This is a heavy piece of business.
Oh my God. The nougat's so bouncy, almost like a marshmallow.
Oh my
It feels like
God.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like this.
Way better.
Yeah.
Caramel's not as overwhelming.
Mm-mm.
That is superior.
The dark chocolate.
That's a surprisingly good dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Actually, it's got like that dark chocolate slight bitterness.
And it's comparable. I mean, it complements everything.
Yeah, it go the bitterness of that and the sweetness of the vanilla malt, which really does taste like you're eating a marshmallow, but it's not.
Yeah.
Let me double check the wrapper. No, it's vanilla nougat.
The
It is not
bitterness of the
marshmallow.
dark chocolate really mellows out the caramel.
Yes, thank you.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Which is what I want caramel. I just want caramel to calm down already.
Yeah, you can be there. Just, stop with all the attention
Don't be a
grabbing.
middle
Yeah,
child.
stop
No.
hitting on my wife, Caramel.
If she
Why are you
a
still hitting on my wife?
heavyset nurse.
Yeah.
Fat Emma back home? Yeah, Beto's greatest fetish. Other men's wives and overweight nurses.
yeah.
As long as
As
they're
they
overweight.
are very generous with mashed potatoes.
As long as they're RNs and above, Beto is into it. Yeah, no, I maintain this, I think, is the better Milky
That's
Way.
the
It is
better,
better.
Milky. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the better Milky Way.
It's shocking how marshmallow-like. What were you going to say?
And that's the kind of Milky Way that I'll go to. If you make me president and I go to space,
Wow.
I will go to that Milky Way, and we'll no longer go to the former Milky Way.
Wow.
I don't want to go to the Milky Way we live in.
No,
I want to go to the dark universe Milky Way.
Yeah.
The Milky Way Midnight.
you have my vote, sir.
And my name is RFK Jr.
We fell for it again. I just couldn't say no to that brain worm. Yeah, no, that was way better.
Yeah.
But are we ready to try the frozen?
We are.
Hopefully it didn't explode in
Man, I wish we had a dark one to freeze.
I know.
there. Ooh, that would be really good.
To the laboratory.
Well, how do you turn a Milky Way dark? This is another
Oh, yeah.
this is another
Popsicle.
joke I read that Greg threw up
Oh,
on a
yeah,
popsicle
yeah,
stick.
yeah.
How do you I'll go get it, you think about it.
Okay.
We'll all have good punchlines
Yeah,
by the time I
yeah.
get back. How do you turn a Milky Way Midnight?
Okay, I'm going to workshop with you. I think that they, to make it dark, they have to, when they're 13, they start watching beheading videos on YouTube.
Yes.
I think that's how you make it dark.
Mhm. You make a live leak account. That's how you make it dark. You make sure your age restriction searches are off.
Yeah, and you know all the passwords to the TVs and computers in your house.
Yeah.
And you can watch anything. And then you can become Milky Way Midnight.
Milky Way Midnight. Oh.
Also, you chop its legs off in Mustafar.
Wow.
The correct answer was
Yeah,
the
it was-
princess. Okay, so yeah, it is very hard. It's cold. This is what happens when things go in a freezer.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about going into space.
Yes, nurse.
Yeah, this is also Beto's yearly exam.
Yeah.
And I drank a lot of malteds to get ready for this. Let's see if I can even cut it. Oh.
Don't cut yourself.
That's his finger just came off.
We'll have to get a nurse in here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness, no. You want to make sure your fingers are real close to the knife, Daniel.
I don't know if I can cut this. How did we do the...
Give it to Greg. Let a real bad cut.
Yeah. My bad teeth will my jagged bad teeth.
How did we do this with the Three Musketeers?
It must have been the caramel that's cut it upside down.
Oh, you said you...
Big brain.
Yeah.
And there goes my finger.
You said you had a Zawzaw last time.
Yeah, did we have a serrated knife last time?
I don't know. Maybe I can just pull it apart.
There you go.
That was so easy.
Yeah, you scored it like glass and then you just break it.
Let's score this side.
Yeah.
One last score. Where?
I swear, guys, and then I'm done. I'm done forever after this.
Yeah, I swear. I swear, Ethel. That's the last Ethel.
That's the last Fat Emma.
Wow.
Okay.
Daniel's so strong. Yeah. He broke candy in two.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard to eat then.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to eat this.
I mean, I think it's going to be kind of a chew job, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's Fat Emma. No one can give a chew job like Fat Emma. And not just on that country fried steak. Yeah, we're going to have to kind of gnaw on it because these really, it looks like those frozen Snickers that you buy.
No.
Let's see. I'm going to see what I can do.
You put this on a stick next time.
Anyone who says, I like frozen Milky Way's a bit liars.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
Or you must have all the time in the world.
I was able to bite a little bit off the edge.
I mean, you can get some of the chocolate.
Yeah.
I was able to do it, but it's not much of an improvement. Like the frozen Three Musketeers were quite good.
Yes.
This is not much of an improvement over the regular.
really
Milky
not.
Way.
There's too much risk involved here.
Yeah.
And not just Star Wars risk on my bachelor party,
Yeah.
which is what all the women trying to dance for us were saying. There's too much risk here.
So
It's your move, girl. Roll. Hey, Jabba, you got to roll.
Emma.
What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
you would just slightly frost these. I don't know if you go full blown frozen.
Maybe refrigerator. Maybe refrigerator's the way to go.
Your cold refrigerator or a hot freezer.
Yeah.
Try yours now. Maybe it's cool.
There's no
or
way.
warmed up a
It
little
hasn't
bit.
been.
Got to thaw.
It's just like rock hard, dude. I'm not.
Hold it in your hands.
The payoff is not there.
No, trust me, it will be. It will be. You have dental insurance, right? It will be. It will be. Hold it in your hands for a little bit. Let it melt.
Yeah, let it melt in my hand.
He's wearing a white tuxedo right now.
He's getting married in 2 hours.
Yep.
We'll check back in closer to the end of the show so you can try.
All right.
So yeah, that was not an improvement for those of us who tried it.
No, that was a downgrade.
It was the same.
100%.
It was the same. It was a downgrade experience wise, flavor wise. It actually kind of tasted almost exactly the same.
It's just harder to eat.
Yeah. So now, where did we get these, and how much were they? Well, let's start with Greg. We'll go to the left of me. Where'd you get yours? Your rotten one.
Oh,
what dumpster did you find it in?
There's so many.
There's so many dumpsters. I'm going to keep track of the dumpsters.
This city has so many great dumpsters.
I got it at the work commissary. It was, I want to say like $2.19.
Whoa, that's expensive.
Yeah.
You're paying the convenience fee, the commissary fee for that. Oh, was it Fumicello's? Was Arthur Bronzarelli there?
Yeah, they're all bronze statues of old 70s shows that take place in the 50s.
That's from the cast of that 70s show.
Yeah.
I got ripped off at a CVS and bought a stale Milky Way.
Terrible. Are you hearing us, Milky Way? How much?
$1.99.
Okay,
Wow.
That's more. Well, so I got my regular one at Ralph's for $1.33.
What? How are you getting these deals?
Yeah.
5-finger discount, but I still leave part of the price.
That's fair.
I'm robbing you almost blind. I'm robbing you legally blind. But then the Milky Way Midnight, which I had to get at Walgreens, was $1.99. That was more
Worth it.
expensive.
I'd pay $2.19 for that bad boy.
You'd pay commissary prices.
Commissary prices for that.
Okay, so now let's rate these out of 0 to 5 cavities. We'll write it down so as not
Help
to
me,
influence
Greg.
each other.
Help
Greg
me.
is tossing a pen to Beto.
Yay,
Can't believe he caught it.
In like a Wolverine claw,
I
he
know.
caught it, like in between knuckles.
And now he's making all of these inappropriate comments
Yeah.
and he's eating a chimichanga or whatever.
Yeah, I like that the pen is red.
I don't get it. Would Wolverine beat a frozen Milky Way in a fight? Listen to debate this. I think we should rate both kinds. The Milky Way regular and the
all
Milky
right,
Way
let's
Midnight,
do it.
right?
Yeah.
What's the other one called? Midnight?
Yeah.
Midnight, Milky Way Midnight.
McKnight.
Milky Way McKnight. It's the Irish version of Milky Way. Okay. Let me think about this. All right. I feel good about mine. Is everyone locked in here?
I'm locked in.
I heard a lot of scribbling. You better be locked in.
I'm not locked in. Now I'm locked in.
Now I've given the
He had
appropriate
to add
amount.
2.
Yeah.
2? Oh, no. So we'll start to the left of me with you, Greg. What is your rating and thoughts on Milky Way and Milky Way Midnight?
Secrets. Milky Way is okay. Like it more than Three Musketeers, less than Snickers. It is like, because I think we sort of agreed that Snickers was middle of the road, even though I probably gave it a very high number.
A 5 is middle of the
Yeah,
road.
it's middle of the road. I like it less than middle of the road just because it kind of just is like you said, a one-trick pony. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the things I like, but for some reason it just doesn't wow me really.
Yeah, it's weird. I really like whenever I have the option between a regular milkshake and a malted milkshake, I'll always go malted.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this sucks. Like you're saying, like except for the caramel, it should work on paper for me, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Like the Three Musketeers is a better example of an ice cream brought down to candy level.
They did a good job.
But this one isn't. So I gave the regular a 2.25.
Wow.
The Midnight, though, my first time.
You've never
You
had one of
always-
these?
Never
you
had.
always remember
Was this
your
your?
first
Yeah.
You
This is
remember
my-
your
oh,
first- Werewolf rules. You always remember your first midnight.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be Fat Emma's at midnight from here on out.
Was this your? And they have to be wearing wolf costumes. Was this your first?
This
midnight?
is my first midnight.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
First Midnight, it was
I'm glad I could watch.
it was delicious. You gave me one bite from yours, and I wish I had at least 3 more bites. I gave that a 3.5.
Wow.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good it was, and that I've never tried it before.
It's not as common. I had to go to Walgreens for this. Walgreens. You hear me?
Wow.
So yeah,
The last Walgreens in California.
Yeah.
I drove 6 hours to get to it.
and I had to fill up my gas. I had to stop in Oklahoma to fill up the gas. What about you, Beto? What are your thoughts?
I think Milky Ways are kind of bad. I had one that was 2 months out from expiring.
It shouldn't have been that bad.
And it shouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, I agree.
So what's going on there? It was terrible. Yours that was fresh was a lot better, but the caramel is a little too overwhelming. The chocolate's okay. The nougat didn't really give me anything that I wanted. The original Milky Way, I give a 1.5.
Okay.
1.5.
It is not good. The Milky Way Midnight leaps and bounds better than a normal Milky Way. Really nice marshmallowy nougat. Good caramel that's tamed by the dark chocolate. It's just a great candy bar. Would buy again. I give that one a 2.8.
Killer.
8. See, that's interesting because those were very strong words you have, but since it's chocolate for you, it's like me talking about gummy bears and stuff like that. Very complimentary words, but because it's not my favored candy, it's still kind of a seemingly low score.
Well, as you know, 2.5 is middle of the road.
Yeah.
And anything above 2.5 lives within the good candy
That's heaven.
realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this made the mark to good candy.
Snickers is purgatory.
So, yeah.
I am glad that both of you like the Milky Way Midnight because I was more excited about that one. For me, the standard one, I want to say I even enjoyed it a little less than I have in the past, the regular Milky Way.
Something was off with our Milky Ways today.
Not mine, yours. I didn't taste your...
Our trash. Our Milky trash.
Yeah, your Milky Ways that had polio.
I got a bite. You want a little bit of it?
Want to have my pale white ashy Milky Way?
But again, 2 months from being expired, so there's no excuse.
there's
No, there is no excuse. That must be a problem with the storage or shipping. Like someone at CVS or wherever you got from the commissary.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a word with Sumner Redstone, if that is his real name. But yeah, mine was how it's supposed to taste, and even that was not good. But like we were saying, it just on paper, I love the idea. It just doesn't really work for me. So Snickers are boring to me, but I recognize that they are a better candy than this is. So I gave it a 1.9 for the regular one.
Okay.
But for the midnight, the midnight. The most magical moonlight. I really like it. It's still like I haven't had one of those in a really long time. And they are a pretty unique sort of thing. It almost tastes like marshmallow, but it's better because it's nougat. It all works together well. It's way better than a Mars candy kind of has business being.
Yes, it is.
Like it was actually kind of quality.
You like this is 3 junk components that came together and made quality.
Yeah, it's
what's going on here?
But it was actually like the dark chocolate was kind of good.
Yeah.
Like it was actually kind of good dark chocolate.
Oh,
it was baseline good. It was chaotic good. But so for Milky Way Midnight, I gave it a 3.1. Okay. So we all are kind of for these around the same
range,
in the same range, but slightly different tiers.
Yeah.
We're starting the new year right.
Yeah, we are agreeing.
Recalibrating.
Yeah. I still put it kind of third tier for me.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the midnight.
No, the midnight is second tier, I think.
Okay, all right.
I would put midnight in the second
tier. And can you remind
tier.
us what a top tier is? Besides just Reese's? Like, is there a second?
Peanut M&Ms.
Okay, peanut M&Ms. Okay.
And also Three Musketeers I would put top tier for me. I gave that a pretty high score because that was the concept of the ice cream done right. It was pretty, those are good. Milky Way Midnight is up there, but no, the regular Milky Way.
Yeah.
Regular Milky Way needs to grow up.
Yeah, it needs to grow up and get dark. Yeah, why don't you stay up till midnight one time, Milky Way? So now it is. Would you be excited to get either of these on Halloween, Greg?
Yes.
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah. I am excited to get Milky Way because it's only one bite. I don't have to devote, too much time to it. I feel like they won't be grimy like the one I bought from the commissary. I'm okay with Milky Way.
You only trick or treat at the commissary.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with Milky Way. I just after today, I feel like I'm not crazy about them. But I'll take a bite, But if I see the Milky Way Midnight, if I'm out there and I see Milky Way, this is enough to rob a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I found a kid, I'd beat him up.
And if I turn into a werewolf, I would maul him to death to get his Milky Way Midnight.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm going to dress up as a werewolf. I'm going to knock on the door at midnight.
Yeah.
A plump nurse is going to answer. Hand me a midnight Milky Way.
And you know what? Have one for yourself. Bulk up a little bit.
And then, we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. My God. This is Dear Penthouse.
Yeah. You want to hear a dream? Let me tell you one.
So get this. I've got hairy hands and I'm wearing a Letterman jacket. I'm not just any werewolf. I'm the teen werewolf.
I'm the werewolf Michael Jackson in the movie they're watching in the Thriller video. Not the zombie one. They're watching a movie with a cat guy.
It's not just any nurse. It's the nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I would be not excited to get the regular on Halloween because you kind of get so many of those on Halloween.
You're never going to experience a Halloween where you don't get one.
Yeah.
It's just mandatory candy.
It's a little too boring for that, but the Milky Way Midnight, yes, that was one of my top Halloween candies. I'm always excited to get a Milky Way Midnight.
I don't think I've ever got one of those.
They're so rare. They are so rare.
Wow.
That's like a Charizard.
So close. You forgot one letter. Oh, that was so close, Greg. Really good.
Trying really hard this year.
Good boy.
I don't know what I said. I went in a fugue state, but
oh, you must have met a Mewtwo. You'll learn. Maybe 2026.
Yeah. That's a little too advanced for you.
A Mewtwo advanced for you. So now, before we have our game, we have a pre-game plug.
Why don't you go ahead and explain what it is to everybody?
Get over here, fat Emma.
You need to explain what this segment is to everybody.
It's the midnight's here, and I'm getting hairy. So this is where we ask you to do one thing before each game we play. So this week, we've asked for reviews on Apple Podcasts many times. But we're neglecting those of you who don't bow to the man and listen on Apple Podcasts. You've felt so left out this whole time. Guess what? You can leave star ratings wherever you listen to us. Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Google Gobble, whatever you listen
Truth
on.
Social.
Oh, yeah.
Social.
That's a good one.
Might as well be X also. So leave us 5 stars on whatever app you listen to. It helps us out. It makes us look legitimate, which entices more people to give us a try. It's really helpful. Little do they know we're not legitimate, but
it just makes us
it's easier to trick people that way. Yeah. So leave us a review wherever, stars, words, whatever you can do on yours. Just leave it wherever you can. It helps us. So now it's time for our game. So it's January 1st.
So close.
He's making Charizard noises. It's January 1st, and we're still in the midst of winter break. So I thought it's a good time to revisit a game from my sister's first grade students. So we're going to be playing Kids Describe the Darndest Thing. So for those who haven't heard this before, my sister teaches a first grade class, and she had them describe candies, and we're going to try to guess what they're describing. So remember, we have to enter the mind of a first grader to do well. All right, so let's get the first one. So remember, we're thinking like first graders.
Okay.
I
eat boogers.
I eat boogers.
Boogers are good.
My sister is my worst enemy.
Yeah.
School sucks.
School stinks. It doesn't just suck, it also stinks.
It sucks and stinks.
The lunch lady is so mean.
But she's kind of hot. Oh, that's my fetish. Sorry. Sorry.
Fat Bertha. Okay, so the first one. Let's see what noises the kids hid in these when I open them up.
Auga.
Okay, so here's the description. Different flavors, type of fruits, can eat them.
Oh,
There's always a can eat them. So different. This could be so many things.
I
Different
know.
flavors, types of fruits can eat them.
Could be Skittles, could be Starburst.
I'm going to go with Skittles. These are Skittles they're talking about.
Could be Mike and Ike's. I mean, come on. Gummy bears.
I don't think kids know Mike and Ike. So
kids know Mike and Ike?
I'm going to say Welch's Fruit Snacks.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'll take that one.
I'm going to go gummy worms.
Gummy worms.
That's
Okay.
good.
Gummy worms, Welch's Fruit Snacks, and Skittles. Let's see what it is. Airheads.
Whoa.
I mean,
That was not expected.
Yeah.
Fruits can eat.
Yeah. They are absolutely right.
This checks out. Okay, so now
Maybe
the second
I'm the
one.
airhead.
Now the second one, what noise is this going to make? Kids love burping these days. It's 2025.
A little fart, too. A little pop of a
Well,
fart.
interesting. Starts with F.
Farts.
Farts, edible farts. White inside farts.
White inside.
And you can see the white.
Starts with
F, white inside, and you can see the white. Oh my God. Okay.
White
This is like an
inside.
Irish poem.
When it starts with F. So starts with F, white inside, and you can see the white.
The only F coming to mind is Fun Dip, and you can see the white on the stick.
Oh.
But is that okay? White inside, but you can't see the white. When
You
it's
can or you
open,
can't see the white.
You can see the white. So white starts with F, white inside, and you can see the white. Ferrero Rocher? No.
Haichu doesn't start with F. It does have a center.
Let's think about what starts with F. Flake bars, not white.
No way a kid's
No, they
eating.
don't. Well, no, my sister she transferred to England for this semester.
No way they're eating.
What candy starts with F? Ferds? Milky Way?
Milky Way, F and F's.
Yeah.
Fike and Ike, which is also an Irish curse. Fike and Ike.
Fun Dip, bro. What's the other one?
Fruit snacks.
Welch's fruit snack.
Welch's fruit snacks.
Welch's fruit snacks.
What's the shark one?
The shark one? Gummy sharks?
Funny Farks?
I'm just going Fun Dip.
Oh my
Okay.
God, I can't think of a candy that starts with F.
Sweet tarts,
Sweet
licorice,
farts.
bubble gum.
Bubble Fum. Oh my God, this is a
I'm
hard
sure
one.
there's like a million that
Okay. This is a little bit of a crazy guess, but I'm going to say freeze-dried Skittles because you can kind of see the white when they kind of burst open.
Okay.
If that's what it is, dude,
I'm a first
you're
grader.
savant level,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm a savant level first grader, which is like a second grader. What about you, Greg?
I don't think I even have a guess.
You got to guess something,
Something
with
with
an
F, yeah.
Something with an
And
F.
it's going to start with a completely different letter.
Yeah.
He's tricked
They
you
don't know
guys.
how to spell.
Yeah.
They think F is a B.
I'm just going to say fruit snacks again.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's
I
see
have-
what the
I have
answer
nothing.
is. I swear to God, freeze.
That's like deep, bro.
Oh my God. Oh
no
my God.
way.
No.
Freeze-dried Skittles.
You're kidding.
This man over here.
Freeze-dried Skittles.
Wow, I'm going
This
to give you a
man over
gold
here.
star because
I
you're in the
know.
first grade.
And that first grader, my son.
My son. Wow.
That is shocking.
That is-
I can't believe I got that one.
Wow.
Did anyone wait? No one got the first one. We didn't. Yeah. So
I got the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me put. So that's
Yeah.
4 points for Beto.
Yeah,
And I was there.
and I was there too, so I get half a point.
Okay. So let's see what this one, next one sound. Yeah. They nerped each other right before class. Starts with S. Oh, okay.
Freeze dried Skittles.
Yeah.
Sleet dried Skittles. Has all colors of rainbows.
Aw.
Fruit taste. Say it with me. Slytherin. Slytherin
It's
bites.
Skittles.
It's gotta be
But they're going to
Skittles.
find a way to not make it
Yeah.
Skittles, dude.
It's going to be Mamba.
It's going to be sour Skittles.
Yeah, sour Skittles.
I'm going with, I've guessed Skittles for all of them. I'm going to go down the board. I'm going to say this is Skittles again.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say sour Skittles.
Okay.
What about you, Greg?
Starburst.
Oh, yeah.
But the rainbow,
I mean,
but do they know the taste the rainbow? Do
They
they know?
have
Do
to.
children even taste the rainbow
Do
these
they
days?
know from
Can they?
Taste the Rainbow?
Let's see.
are they allowed to?
In this America?
No, there might be peanuts in it. All right, let's see what the answer. It's Skittles.
Skittles, of
It's
course.
Skittles.
Skittles.
I
I've
still
got
get
two.
that, right? I mean, come on.
You get 0.5. I'll give you
What?
0.5.
I think you should get 3/4 of a point.
Come on. We all knew it was
right,
Skittles.
yeah,
I
okay.
just said
I
sour
did, and I
Skittles
gave
are
the wrong
different.
I'll give you.
For the team.
I'm going to give you 0.99.
Jesus Christ. Because I want to win by
So
petty.
3-1.
I want to beat you by the narrowest of margin. Okay, so what does this next one sound like? Okay, now I'll open it. There we go. What a coincidence. Okay, brown. Caramel is in it. Has nuts.
These nuts.
Yeah, on the other side. Oh, this one specifically was written by the bully of the class.
It's going to be Snickers.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Snicker. I'm going to say Skittles.
I'm going to say freeze dried Skittles.
Brown caramel in it has nuts.
Freeze dried Snickers.
Yeah, I was thinking Snickers also. I got to go with Snickers.
Yeah, what else has caramel and nuts?
Payday?
Oh, I guess.
Payday? Is it a payday?
You're the,
100
No,
grand.
there's no nuts in it.
no, the
That's
chew.
rice.
The,
Oh, peanut
but,
chews.
yeah, but kids don't eat
Unless
those.
gold. Oh, no,
does she
kids-
work in East Coast?
Does she work in a first grade class from 1940?
There is a caramel M&M, which technically does not have nuts, but I could see how you'd be confused
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a first grader. This M&M had caramel. This M&M had a nut.
Yeah.
They come with nuts and caramel.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I'm gonna generalize.
So, okay, here we go.
Racist. Yeah.
Kids suck. Here we go. I want 0.01 points if it's peanut M&Ms,
Okay.
and I want my full point if it's
Okay. These are very generous conditions, but I'll allow it.
I agree. I hope we should get shit.
Okay. So what is your grace?
Snickers.
Snickers. So we got 3 Snickers and an extra bonus point for.
an extra bonus 0.01.
Okay. If it is if it is caramel.
If it's M&Ms.
M&Ms of any kind. Okay. Let's see what it is. Snickers.
Yeah.
It is
It's
caramel M&M Snickers.
I
Okay,
knew
so
it.
we all got one. So I've got 3. Greg has 1. Beto, you have 1.99. So are you going to lose to me by a lot or just a painful amount? Let's see on this very last description. It will make a really good first grade noise.
That's great. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I pooed in my own shoe. Okay, so has chocolate, has caramel,
Snickers.
brown and yellow on the wrapper.
A Mr. Good bar is
That doesn't have caramel.
yellow.
Has chocolate, has caramel, and brown and yellow on the wrapper. What has brown and yellow on the wrapper?
I can see how a kid would think
I mean, a caramel
a
M&M.
peanut, a caramel M&M. A freaking...
That's still 0.01 for you, though.
yeah, condition here on out. If there's any answer that is M&M, I get 0.01.
I'll allow it.
I can see how Butterfinger, but it has blue and yellow.
Yeah, and there's no
But you can get
caramel.
confused that that's caramel, like a dried...
Obviously, that's cornflakes mixed with molasses. That's what give it the, say it with me, the orange coloring. Duh.
Can you read the clues one more time?
Has chocolate, all of them, or just this one?
Just that one. Just that one.
Has chocolate, has caramel, brown and yellow on wrapper. Has chocolate, has caramel, brown and yellow on wrapper.
I'm going to say Milky Way.
Yeah.
Does it
There's
have
brown and there's yellow. It's
No, there's no yellow.
There's no real yellow.
What has brown and yellow? Like peanut M&Ms has brown and yellow, but what else? I don't even know if it has brown. What has brown and yellow on the wrapper?
Butterfinger has yellow. Mr. Good Bar has yellow.
Brown and yellow. I'm thinking of like a pecan Snicker, like one of those alternate
M&Ms has
Snickers.
yellow,
The only other yellow one is Abba Zaba.
but that doesn't even have
Doesn't-
chocolate.
Yeah,
Caramel.
exactly.
Wait, no, it doesn't.
No.
Does it?
But I'm just thinking of yellow wrappers now.
I'm going Rolo,
Whoa.
but soft condition answer.
Caramel,
any M&M.
any M&M. Yellow. I'm going to say this doesn't make any sense, but it is a first grader. I'm going to say peanut butter Snickers because I think those were brown and yellow, and I think that might confuse them because maybe
They said the yellow was on the wrapper, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
all
Snicker
right.
isn't yellow,
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
but the I think the wrapper of the peanut butter Snickers were brown of some or yellow of some kind.
Okay.
I think they had yellow. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Greg's guess
I'm
is
just
it.
gonna say Milky Way. I
So
know it's
Milky
not all
Way-
the clues, but
Peanut butter Snickers and what was yours?
Rolo.
Rolo. Okay, let's
There's
see.
no way it's Rolo, but
There's no way it's any
it's
of these.
gold. Maybe they're confusing gold
that's
and
what
yellow.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Twix.
Twix isn't yellow.
There's no yellow on a
The
Twix, is
gold.
there?
It's gold. See,
It's
they're
this
confusing gold and
gold.
yellow.
You're on the right path, so that means I get
Yeah.
4 more points.
Aw.
So I win that one by 1.01.
Nice.
It's the 0.01 that hurts.
respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Damn it.
Those
that was-
kids, they need to learn colors. What is this?
I would have
mean,
said Twix if I even remembered
Second
it.
half of 2025.
Not saying it's their teacher's fault,
Yeah.
but
Maybe it's their teacher's brother's fault.
Oh, wait a minute. She only teaches colorblind children. I feel good about that now, Beto. Well, that is our Milky Way episode. We were humiliated by children, and then I
Yep.
humiliated Beto.
Yep.
Greg, you humiliated yourself.
I have no respect for myself. How did I get here?
So have a happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Even though it's January 1st, you've already had it.
Yeah, your happiness is over for this year.
I know you guys are like stressing out and worried, but it's gonna be fabulous. All
It is
right?
going to be fabulous.
It's gonna be great.
Before we forget, take some of your thawed
yeah.
Milky Way.
All right,
See
let's
if
try
it's crunch.
It went too far in the other direction. Now it's just a Milky Way.
Now it's boiling hot.
I burned my tongue.
And make a New Year's resolution never to freeze Milky Way.
Yeah. Make a New Year's resolution never to assume a kid knows the difference between yellow and gold
Yeah.
before you consult their first grade teacher.
Yep.
Greg?
I'm going to make a resolution just to never eat candy again. Just never a bite of it.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to mention this is Greg's farewell
Yeah,
episode.
they're going to take me out back and shoot me.
No, we're putting you out to stud.
No.
Beto, we're not putting him out to stud. Oh, okay. We're going to put a stud in his head.
He is the stud.
Yeah. So see ya.
Bye.
Bye. Great.